The NRA releasing another ad taking aim at mainstream media. This time, they have a message for the New York Times. Roll tape.
Consider this the shot across your proverbial bow. We're going to fisk the New York Times and find out just what deep rich means to this old gray hag, this untrustworthy, dishonest rag that has subsisted on the welfare of mediocrity for 1, 2, 3 more decades. We're going to laser focus on your so-called honest pursuit of truth. In short, we're coming for you.
Well, that is a heck of an ad, is it not? We are now joined by the very star of that ad, NRA spokesperson Dana Loesch. Dana, fascinating. What reaction have you had to that particular ad?
Ashley, it's so good to see you. Well, it's been interesting because either people really identify with media bias because they've either had it done to themselves or done to individuals that they believe to be trustworthy, or there have been, Ashley, a few people out there that don't believe a free people have the right to promise to fact-check the press. And that's exactly what this ad was. That's why I used the word fisk, which apparently Adam Goldman at the New York Times didn't understand because of his limited vocabulary. And so fisk, of course, I'm going to line by line, and not just me, but other people at the NRA, members of the NRA, Second Amendment supporters, and anyone who loves an honest press. We're going to keep our media accountable. Free people have the right to do that, Ashley.
They do indeed. How much input do you have into what's said in these ads, or are you just given a script? I'm just interested.
No. I wrote the script, and some can be a collaborative effort, but no, I've used the word fisk for years, and so have many other writers as well. And it's just unfortunate that the reporters like Dave Weigel at Washington Post and Adam Goldman, who completely proved my point, by the way, at the New York Times, didn't understand what I was talking about, or even didn't note the captions of my ad either, Ashley. And I'll have you note that neither of these reporters reached out to me for any kind of clarification or any word at all on this ad before running with their smear.
So, old gray hag, dishonest rag, laser focus on your purported pursuit of truth.
Yes.
Very strong words.
Yes, indeed, and I think those strong words are needed right now. Ashley, let's remember that Jim Rutenberg over at the New York Times wrote in a column that the New York Times didn't have any obligation, and nor did any other media, to treat the President of the United States with any shred of objectivity simply because they did not like how the President spoke. And it was Arthur Sulzberger Jr. who, by the way, came back later and said, yeah, the New York Times was incredibly biased this last election. They admit their bias, Ashley, but they did so sort of as though it didn't really matter. But they've already admitted it, and yet they continue to still do it. I have so many examples, more examples than we have time to fit in our block of time this morning. But the New York Times, for so long, has abused the trust of the public. And as I said, a free people have the right to hold their media accountable.
Interesting side note here, Dana. Gun makers reporting slower sales because President Trump took office. Stone Ruger sales down 22% last year. It's a double-edged sword. What it's saying is that people now believe that no one's coming to take their guns away. Unfortunately for gun retailers, this means less people coming in to buy guns, right?
Well, yes and no. I mean, first off, I know a lot of people try to use the background check number, but at the same time, firearms sales for certain manufacturers have actually they've reported some gains. Some have reported steady sales. But the bottom line is that people don't have to worry about their rights being taken away, at least at the federal level. Now, it's a different story when you go state by state. There are gun control groups, unfortunately, that would seek to disarm people. I know that they have fought to do so on college campuses. They lost in Texas. But people want to be able to keep their right of self-defense. It's important.
Very quickly, I just want to come back to the point you make about people know it's dishonest. I get the feeling once you get out of that liberal bubble in Washington, D.C., in New York and other areas of this country, the majority of the United States, I think, are seeing the media for what they are, the mainstream media, and they already know that they're not getting the full facts.
No, they do, absolutely, Ashley, you're so right. They do, and it's unfortunate. You know, the New York Times, they even had one of their editors who was let go recently who said that this can't be a paper for only half of the country. People understand that, and that's why you see so many citizen media out there on the Internet. It's a wonderful thing.
Dana Loesch, host of The Dana Show. Dana, as always, great stuff. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Good to see you, Ashley. Thank you.